jobs. So people with money are paying less and less people to do the work because a lot of it's getting done automatically. And so what we're doing is we're taking technology and we're making it so we can all share amongst each other and have it all pretty much like a bookkeeping type automatic transactions. So it makes it a lot easier for us to help each other out and kind of share the wealth, so to say. So basically, I started bartering when I was 12. I shoveled a lady's driveway for this book that she had called The Relaxation Response. And I really wanted the book. At the time, the doctors were trying to say that I had ADHD, stuff like that, and I really realized I wanted to be able to relax and be more in control of myself. So she was telling me about the book, and she told me what she wanted to have done in her driveway, and I said, I can do that. So that was the first time I ever bartered, and ever since then I've always tried to barter. And one of the things is, it's very, very rare to come across somebody that has something that you value as much as the value you feel like you're giving them. So it's very difficult to say, oh, you have a dozen eggs, let me give you, a side of beef. It doesn't really work out. Even though you might have a lot of beef, it's still got more value than the person that has a lot of eggs. So let me look at my thing. I'm sorry, I just wasn't really prepared to do this.
We like authentic.
Yeah.
Works. Be real.
I just want to make sure I go over everything. So a few years ago, there was the economic crisis. I don't know if you guys remember that, if anybody was affected by it. I was making a really good living. I was only 25 years old, making $60,000 a year, plus money on the side, plus doing, my little bartering things I would do here and there. And the economy collapsed, and everybody was going crazy. And I said, oh, it's okay. I work in a high-end tile and stone showroom. I work with millionaires, people that are spending, literally millions of dollars on their house just for a place to live. And I thought that they would, never, ever run out of money. And I didn't even really realize the effect that the economy has over everybody in their individual lives. So that's kind of when I was realizing, okay, there's something wrong. I have all these skills. I have, a huge passion to go out and I have a great work ethic. Why can't I get ahead? After I lost my job at the tile and stone showroom, I haven't been able to find anything else. I literally took side jobs here, side jobs there, just trying to make ends meet. Finally started my own business and started into a barter group, which actually their software was the software that we're going to be using was the software we use in that barter group. So it was really cool. I liked it a lot. It's great for business owners because you can exchange services. You need an accountant, you can go do, like me, I would go do tree work and put it into the barter account and then be able to use that money to pay my accountant. And it wouldn't have to come from my accountant. That was the best part. My accountant doesn't even have trees, so they wouldn't be able to use my services. So this system allows that to happen. The problem is there's a lot of rules with traditional barter groups and a lot of ways that they're set up that makes it, they really kind of take advantage of people. And it makes it hard for people to be able to exchange fairly, and the prices get inflated and get inflated. So what we're trying to do here is make it for the everyday people so it's affordable for everyone, and you don't have to have a business to be able to get in and start working with other people. So if you have, you have a 40-hour-a-week job that you might not be passionate about, but you're getting through, it pays your bills, you have a passion on the side that you want to be able to explore more. Maybe you're doing it as a hobby, maybe you're doing it for your friends for free, but you want to kind of take it to the next level, or maybe you feel like you need to get something in return because all the free stuff you're giving away is exhausting your own time, your own energy, your own resources. So basically, it lowers your reserves. So bottom line, what I'm trying to say is, I can't give anything to you, and you can't give anything to me without one of us exhausting our personal reserves, unless we use the US dollar. So when you give me your labor or your services, I take the money, which is basically, it resembles your energy. That's what money is. It's an exchange of energy. It's the closest thing we have to be able to physically exchange besides touching and our auras and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, basically that's what this is for. It's just an affordable way for people to be able to exchange with each other without friction. Does anybody here currently barter services or do stuff for free for their friends or anything like that? Okay, about half of you. Okay, cool. So yeah, people are still doing it. It's happening. There's over 2,500 different barter exchanges across the planet right now. And that was like a old number I found somewhere. It's way more now. Yeah, they would know. They have a lot of people that use their software. So they'll be answering a lot of security questions, software questions, things like that. So basically what I'm doing, I've already got the site set up. They helped me get it going. We got the software going. I've already put in everything I could do on the side. So because I'm an arborist, I put in gift certificates into the website. So there's 10 gift certificates for people to get their palm trees removed. And that's $500 a piece. And that's how much I charge people in cash. When I go and do a palm tree removal, that's what I charge. So I use that same pricing to use it as barter credits. So I got 10 of those on there. That's $5,000 worth of value right there because I'm good for it. If I promise I'm going to do something, that's what a gift certificate is. It's here. This means I owe you this service. It's basically an IOU. So I put that in there. I put in 10 $200 gift certificates for doing citrus tree pruning and fertilizing. The cool thing too, guys, is if you see a gift certificate on the trading floor and your neighbor's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get my my citrus tree pruned, you actually have an opportunity to do a sale to them. If you have $500 or $200 in your reserve account and they're about to hire someone to go do it, you could essentially buy that gift certificate with your barter dollars and sell it to your friend or your neighbor for cash. So it's a way to bring in extra cash into your pocket. A lot of people in the traditional barter groups do that. There's wholesalers that'll put up a whole lot of stuff for really cheap and everyone buys it with their barter dollars and they go and sell it on Craigslist. Yeah, I guess we'll start with questions. Might as well.
Does the app cost anything, and how do we go about, what information do we need to be prepared to give to just kind of start?
Yeah, so what we do is there's a traditional exchange will charge you for a sign-up fee, they'll charge you a monthly fee, and then they charge like a ridiculous amount of transaction fees.
Sure.
You guys, has anybody ever had a Square account or a PayPal? And so how much do you get dinged on that when you take a credit card over the phone?
2.75. I mean, it varies.
It's 3.5 on the phone. If you're there, it's 2.75.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not there, it's 3.5. Mm-hmm. So they take 3.5% of your money and it goes right to the banks. So what this does is, if you do a transaction with somebody, one of my things I like is I do yoga nidra, and I've been doing it over the phone and over Skype and things like that for people around the country. And so it would be a way, instead of taking a Square payment to do it, it'd be cool to be able to do it on a barter transaction. But that's even works for in the same city. If you're in Phoenix, in Glendale, and then you got someone over in Mesa, probably makes sense more to meet up online, so you guys can actually exchange that money without having to meet. So that's kind of a cool thing. Did that answer your question? So we're going to do a 2% transaction fee, cash.
Okay.
So every time you spend $100, $2 charge is going to go into your account. That has to get paid at the end of the month. And we have to, because we're getting charged per transaction plus a percentage for every dollar we get. We're making it so we don't charge you until you've accumulated a $5 worth of fees. And then there's going to be a monthly fee, but it's not a U.S. currency fee. It's a barter fee to keep people engaged with the system and going out and doing work. And it's a $5 barter dollars a month fee. So if you're in for 4 months and you don't even do a transaction, what was that?
So then to get started, do we need to have maybe 1 or 2 sentences that kind of detail what it is that we're willing to offer, or should we have,
so when
how
you,
much information?
Yeah, when you sign up, you're going to put a description of things you do, but you're also going to get categorized. There's a whole list of categories,
Oh, great.
and you can go into each one, like for health and like home, or what is it, like health and wellness and home and garden, stuff like that. And you click on it, and then you go into the subcategory and choose up to 6 different things you want to offer to the community.
Okay.
And
just like keywords or tags, or we is there a profile type piece where we can elaborate a little bit more as to?
Oh, you can upload a photo, right?
Yeah, you can upload.
Yeah, because I uploaded one, and then you just put in a short description. We don't need like put in as much as you want. I mean, how many characters does it hold?
As many as you want.
Yeah,
As many as
so
you want.
you can write a book and put it
People
in there.
stop reading after a while.
Yeah, I don't ever, every time on any exchange I've been a part of, I've never really read too much. I'm just looking for the website. So that's another thing. You can put your Facebook page in there, or a blog, or if you have a website, you can put that in there too. So, and that's what people are going to do. They're either going to call you, or they're going to email you, or they're going to go to your website. They're not going to try to read a description. It's kind of new. We were reading something about how blogging is dead. So, I mean, it's always going to be around, but put more energy into making media rather than your words. What else does it require? So we have to be legit. We have to be good with the IRS. So for that, we actually do have to report all the transactions that happen, which means that actually they look at it as if you've earned that cash. The thing is with barter though, you can spend off as much as you earn, and isn't that all write-offs?
No.
Not necessarily.
No?
Can I take that one?
Yeah, please take that
Just
one.
like in this, sorry, so, just so you know, we also owned a barter exchange for 10 years, so we have some idea what we're doing with this.
Come over here so you can.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Your face?
Might as well get you
Okay,
on.
I'm on the camera. So my name is Barry Cohen, and yeah, like I said, we had the barter exchange for 10 years, and we created the software that we're using. When you do a barter transaction, as far as the IRS is concerned, it's the same as a cash transaction. So if you purchase something that's business related, that would be deductible on your taxes. The same thing, it would be deductible on your taxes. But if you're purchasing eggs on barter instead of spending cash, that's not a tax deduction. So it's not a wash
It might be.
if your eggs happens to be business
If you
related.
make bread, right. It
Right,
might
if you bake bread and you need eggs to bake the bread. So if it's a tax deduction in cash, it's a tax deduction in barter. If it's not a tax deduction in cash, it's not a tax deduction in barter. I mean, it works the same exact way.
And what about the paperwork that you give to your accountant? Is that like
There is,
really-
okay, there is, what the system will do and what Andrew will do at the end of the year, this is crunch time for barter exchanges right now. You will receive a 1099-B form, and that will be, if you're a corporation or LLC, it'll be a cumulative total of all your sales for the year. If you're a sole proprietor, which most people here are going to be, you're going to have a listed detail of every sale that you made. And that'll be totaled up, so you'll know what to give your accountant. They'll know what to do with it. It goes on your tax return like anything else.
Yeah, if you're just a sole proprietor, you usually use like H&R Block or something like that, and just give them the paperwork.
Hand it to them.
That's it.
If you're a sole proprietor and you're using H&R Block, find an accountant.
Find an accountant.
Thank you.
What about
Yeah.
the sales tax? That covers the income tax.
Okay, so sales tax is paid for in U.S. dollars. So if you're going to go to a business, there's probably going to be just a couple businesses on the barter exchange, and they're not going to be like brick and mortar places. They're probably going to be people that just have a legitimate business that they run, and they have a bank account and stuff like that. If they sell you a good that they produce and manufactured, they're going to charge you tax on it, and they're going to make you pay that much because they can't pay the tax with barter dollars. So you're still going to always pay your 8%, whatever, 8, 9, whatever it is now. You can't get away from it. So yeah, is there any other questions about the?
I mean, I
Yes,
have to
that's
preface
Stevie.
this with I'm new.
I like
I'm
Stevie.
new to all of this, but I know the importance of it. Okay, so I think these things have to be dumbed down for me, to be absolutely, frank. It's got to be watered down. And so, how user friendly is this? How easy is this for us to get our community involved? Because I know the millennial mindset right now is all about this, but it's perhaps over some of our heads. So just kind of understanding the user-friendly, interface, or how you guys have found. What's the demographic using this? Is there a large percentage of millennial mindset? The younger entrepreneurs. Kind of want to.
Well, one of the target audiences I want to get in front of are students that
Okay.
have just learned new skills, or they're learning new skills and they want to practice them. And you always hear the term "starving student," and it's because it's legit. I just went to Sweet Hall last year, and I have my own business, and I take care, but you end up starving. It might not just because you're a lack of money, but it's a lack of your resources and your time to have things done. So The barter thing is also cool because you can pay people to do other things for you that you normally would do on your own, like clean your house, wash your car,
Or our websites and
get your website down.
all of our peers right now that are looking to kind of launch their entrepreneurial efforts.
Yeah.
There's things that they'd rather get groceries. They just keep putting their LLCs back further and further.
Seti has a question.
Yeah, maybe what you could do to help out would be to give some like scenarios. So let's say like someone who's a healer or yoga instructor offering their services, and then somebody selling something that's like a product. And like how would they both sign up, and then how would they both do a transaction?
I know, that's what is a bummer that this isn't up, 'cause I want to show.
Did you want me to?
Yeah, please,
Okay.
Catherine.
Okay, so, hi, I'm Catherine Cohen.
They love their site, their software.
All right. We made the software for the extremely, extremely, extremely non-technical person. So when you're talking about millennials can look at the software and they can know exactly what it is.
Okay.
What we made the software for is the 50, 60, 70, 80-year-old old business owners, crotchety old men who don't really want to use it. And
He's talking about me, don't worry.
and that's whether you're the barter exchange owner or the barter member. So there's that. We made it super simple, but it has everything that it needs, and I don't need to give you a sales pitch. So you're asking for some real world examples. So we finally got chickens. It's taken years and years of convincing my husband we finally have chickens, and starting in April, they'll actually be making eggs if I'm doing everything right. So we can eat, so many eggs, and I can give so many eggs to my sister, and then that's it. So I might put them up on, on the barter site, on the trading floor, and I'll explain the difference between the two. And every time I have eggs, I'll put them up there. I've got a dozen eggs at $6. That's what I see them going for at the farmer's market. It's not what it's going for in the supermarket, but my chickens have their own stuffed animals. I mean, these are spoiled. They're organic, whatever, but it's $6 a dozen. If I sell it to you for cash or if I sell it to you for barter, it's going to be $6 a dozen. And I love that Andrew is really, so many exchange owners go, oh yeah, we're going to keep the same price, and they don't. And Andrew's really holding the line on that. So, Barry has fixed a bunch of computers for a bunch of people, and he charged barter dollars for them, so he needs a dozen eggs, and he will pay me $6 barter dollars because
You're charging me for eggs?
Yeah, he fixed Sarah's computer. So Sarah needed her computer fixed, and Sarah gave you a massage. So you paid Sarah in barter dollars with whatever it is that you earned your barter dollars with. Sarah's got her barter dollars, and her computer goes kerplooey, and Barry fixes the computer. Barry wants a dozen eggs, and he pays me for them. I take that money, and Andrew trims my trees. And that's how the whole system works. Rather than me saying to Andrew, okay, it's going to be $300 to trim, all these trees on my property. I know, because we've done that. $306 an egg. Holy crap! I've got to sell this many eggs.
I got your breakfast for the year.
Yeah, you got breakfast for the next 10 years. He doesn't need that.
Right.
So that's how it's going to work. That's the difference between barter. You can make the same kind of transactions that you make in cash. It's just that barter is a smaller area. Cash will take up everything that you have. You can use cash for anything and everything you can think of. Barter you can only use with the people, let's say, in this room. So it'll be very easy to get. And then you've got to be real careful not to get, overindulged in barter, but that little bit of extra stuff that you want to get, and then you'll spend it with the people in this room.
I'm sitting outside not knowing about this room, so.
Okay.
If
Cool.
perhaps, yeah, it's for 20 minutes. So, I don't know if you can just bring me up to speed as long as the gentleman also who sat up and was speaking about this room.
Sorry about that.
Is this barter or is this something a completely different system that
It's-
I don't know who's.
Yeah, legally, it's a barter exchange. Yeah,
So
that's
this is what you're looking at,
legally
creating
called.
a barter exchange here?
Right.
Yep,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
Most barter exchanges, I know you're talking about, that they overcharge and everything. Most barter exchanges do this as a business. We did it for 10 years as a business. So, it is what you do, and there's a lot of work involved, and and when you're doing that sort of concierge service to the person, that's when you're charging 12% per transaction, and it should be earned. You know, whether they earn it for you or not, I don't know. What Andrew is trying to put together is something where it's a little bit more self-service. So put your stuff up there. Don't expect to, you know, call Andrew or Micah and say, hey, can you find me this? Can you find me that? I want to go on a vacation. Don't expect that. That's why you're paying a smaller percentage on your buys and your sells. That's why he's not charging those annual fees or sign-up fees or any of the other fees that you're doing. It's going to be a self-service. Our purpose here is there's got to be software. Because if you don't have software to take care of everything, nobody's going to know what's going on. You're going to try and do index cards and it's impossible. So Sarah knows as she's looking at us like, what the hell else do you do? Because we just got out of a meeting with Sarah, a networking meeting. So yeah, so this is
See you
barter.
everywhere.
I know. This is the bars. We go to church. There they are. She's like, I go to church. There
I
they
had the
are.
same problem years ago when I was networking a lot.
Yeah.
That's everywhere.
So it's just that we created the software. Andrew came to us and said, what can we do? And this is very different than most of our clients.
I'm
So.
sorry, we said to Andrew, idiot, this is what we do. You know that, right?
You know that,
literally,
right, that's
pretty
true.
much exactly what they said.
That's true.
I came up with the idea. I said, because I took a permaculture design course, and one of my instructors kept talking about how important it is to say, what if? You know, let's start what ifing, guys. Let's imagine things. Let's see how things can be different. And so that's why I said, well, what if there was a local currency for us to use? You know, and there's a couple of barter exchanges out there, but they're more for business owners, and there are a lot of business services on there, and not everybody's really happy in those ones for many reasons, and I don't want to throw dirt, so I'm not even going to get into it. If you want to know, go join one and see what it's like. but anyways, I wanted to get this going because I'm a caregiver archetype. That's not my number one. I'm an achiever, and then underneath that, I'm a caregiver. So I'm always like striving for more, striving for better. And then I'm also seeing along the way, oh, I can help this person with this. I can help this person with this. I can help this person with this. And it's really becomes a sickness for me because I will give until I have to lay in bed for 3 days catching up on me, you know, giving me my me time. So the thing is, though, I never have anything to show for it. During those 3 days, I should be able to like get a massage or have someone do some hypnotherapy on me or yoga nidra or things like that. And there's a lot of people out there that can help us heal ourselves, and they're all having a hard time getting out. So that's one of the audiences I'm going after is, you know, people that are getting into healing modalities, and we can all kind of share with each other. I know for me, like trying to do a barter for tree service, I've never, not once have I, in the last 4 years, found someone that they go, oh yeah, I'd love to barter, because I advertise it. I put it on Craigslist, I put it on Facebook, I put it everywhere. I will barter tree service. I got nothing going on this week. I'm looking for these items. And some people will hit me up and be like, I don't have those items, but I have a bunch of stuff, and I go to their house and waste a whole bunch of time like, okay, thanks for these things that add up to not even 10% of what I have to charge you for the tree service. So it doesn't work out, they just end up paying me cash. And we end up getting a barter deal out of it. Which is cool, you know, it's cool to get cash, but
how is this better or different than Bitcoin or like some of the other exchanges?
I don't know much about cryptocurrencies, except that they're called cryptocurrencies. I remember that because they sound cool, but it's nothing at all. It's not redeemable for cash. You can't take your barter currency to a bank and get cash for it like you can with cryptocurrency. You can exchange it for any currency in the world through one of those exchange forums.
If somebody wants to exchange it.
If someone wants to
So
exchange
how
it.
do you rate different people's services and products?
That's what you guys do. So what you missed the very beginning, so I'll go over it one more time.
Please do.
What you do is you just go on the website. It's thecommunityreserve.com. It's mobile friendly. You can do it right on your phone.
Thecommunityreserve.com.
Yeah, and you just go to join now. It asks you for your information. Be prepared to put in your social security number because we have to report it. But that's another thing I want to call you guys up for. But we'll call you up in a minute. Did you want to say something? I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
This is where I can probably help expand on what he's trying to say. Because one of the reasons that I became a part of it, and not just as the community, but I also want to be in the background helping him a little, is because I'm one of those people he talks about that has this long list background of knowledge and skills and training and education in countless areas that I don't know what to do with. And I've been homeless, I am currently vehicleless, and there are people out there that are retired, like his mother, for example, who have a running vehicle. And if a retired person wants to take some time out of their day and be their own Uber Lyft driver on barter, they could do that and help someone like me. And so I can go and I can say, look, here is a package self-care coaching session. And I'm just going to throw it up there. These are my services. This is who I am. They can go to my website and investigate me. But beyond that, and I think one of the things that I appreciate the most, because I have been part of barter groups, I've networked in this city, I've done a lot too, and I'm from a small town, so I want to kind of know people, especially since I have a medical background. And I do intimate work with people. So I need to know someone before I want to work with them. And the thing about the community reserve that's unique is that Andrew's goal is to have potlucks and to have regular meetings, and if people are considering becoming members, they're invited to get to know one another. We get to screen them. So we have a better understanding of who these people are that we would want to be doing business with. We help one another put things up on the trade floor. But word of mouth is still the biggest way for anybody to get business, whether it's cash or barter or anything. And if you don't start somewhere, like right now, I have no platform. I cry myself to sleep at night because I am wasting away at a job that I can't express all of who I am. But that's my responsibility to figure that out. And this is a platform to where I can reach more people, and I can do a service for someone and then use barter to print services or to help with social media or something that I would not be able to pay cash with the job that I have. So that I can still continue to grow and do what I need to do and help other people, because that's what I'm here to do, without sacrificing myself. Ever since that happened to him, I have my own story of divorce and abuse and homelessness, and through that whole cycle, people did favors for me. They let me live with them at no charge. I would couch surf. They gave me food. These favors, and you get to where people are giving and giving and giving, and you need to give something back. So I decide how much I'm willing to give in the community. I come up with my own idea of what my currency, like if the currency's name is favor, how many favors is it? How much of me is it going to exhaust to have this many coaching sessions with somebody? And you get to screen that. And you get to know one another also. And then you can decide if you want to refer outside of the group to other cash people too, if you enjoy working with someone. So it's a way for us to build on what we already have and to continue to grow our community within the barter group too. Am I saying that okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right.
I like it. That's good perspective. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So, I didn't answer your question all the way about the stuff that you have to put in. One of the things too is you choose a category. So you go into, there's overall categories of services, like there's health and wellness, home garden, all that kind of stuff. So you pick on one of those, and then you go and get a subcategory of 6 things that you want to be able to offer to the community. There's the trading floor, which we mentioned earlier, which is awesome.
Can you look at it without putting all your information in?
You can look at the trading floor. Yeah, I just put in my gift certificates in there and a couple items that I offer. You go all the way to the top and it says trading floor. But it's all mobile friendly, really easy.
Yeah.
Got nice pictures. You're not going to be able to see all the details of the stuff on the trading floor. It's just going to ask you to log in. But yes, sir, you're in the back of the hat.
You probably have already mentioned this, but I apologize that we were.
Yeah, I know you came late. We'll allow it.
No, we were here on time. We were just sitting out there.
Oh, I see. You lost the doorman.
Nobody
Okay,
told
okay.
us to come around
Oh,
here.
man,
It was only
my
'cause
bad.
we came from Belgium.
Sorry. Well, I'm just glad it turned out. Thank you for making it. Appreciate it. Sorry, go ahead.
Questions for?
Well, I was waiting for everybody else to stop who had interrupted me. Pardon me. You mentioned trade dollars. And are we going to be carrying around pieces of paper?
That's another thing that's different about this. We're not going to have people redeem script, which is the physical currency. For one reason, I'm an arborist and I'm an advocate for trees. So I got that. Another thing is it's just too hard to manage. The federal government even has a hard time with that. And then also the fact that it's 2016, there's no reason for us to do that anymore. And eventually, cash is probably isn't
Well,
going
the
to
obvious follow-up is, what do you do instead?
It's all online, so unfortunately, you have to learn how to use a smartphone or a computer.
Right. We have those.
Oh, okay. Well, it's really easy.
Okay.
Would you
So,
like, let me ask one more.
so if you go to the computer, it'll show you what my current balance of currency is.
Yeah, just like logging into your bank account.
Okay.
You know, it's like having a side bank account. I'm not saying this is not by any means a way to replace the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is very necessary. Everybody needs it, but this is to like, if you have 10% free time, you should be able to go and
What
do
do
something
these
with
numbers
it.
mean? Like it's sort of a 20 with a dollar sign backwards.
Yeah, so it's a backwards dollar sign,
Yeah.
which is the universal mark for barter.
Okay.
It's a barter currency.
So you're going to give us a 1099 at the end of the year?
That's correct. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
B,
1099B
Okay.
for barter. Yes.
So I'm just curious, half the room raised their hand earlier that they're already participating in some sort of barter.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
curious what people are already bartering, just for the sake of brainstorming.
Oh, cool.
So if anyone's willing, like I'd like to know what it is that we're already seeing take place.
Well, for us, we're, because we know
Six.
it's no, for us, we're actually bartering the software. We charge for the software, as I said, their barter exchanges use our software to run their business. It's a business. Andrew's not running this as a business. He's just running this as a community, kind of self-service thing. And we agree, and because it's here in Phoenix, and we could use all of your services, we agreed that we would take our normal cash fee in barter.
That's awesome. We appreciate that. We're just lucky to be in the same city as them.
Yes.
Because seriously, all the other barter software out there is old. I mean, it sucks. You
Yes.
cannot find anything. I went onto the one that I'm in right now that I'm leaving. But I went onto their marketplace, their trading floor, and it has like $190 million worth of stuff in there. And you click and you call these people, everything's just like, oh no, I don't have. It's like, well, take it down. So that's one thing I am going to do is keep this. Oh no, actually the system does it itself. That's another thing I love about
The
it.
cost of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we used to use, when we ran a barter exchange, we used to use software like that, and the stuff would stay up forever.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
very annoying to us.
It goes
and
away.
clients.
You choose how long it goes away. 365 days, whatever. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from everyone else's.
All right, yeah, so you guys talk about barter.
Because I want us to be able to really plausibly, rationally understand what we already have to offer as a community.
Yeah.
We're already bartering, so I want to hear it.
SETI.
Okay, so on that question, I think, obviously there has to be a certain number of participants within an exchange or barter group for it to be healthy and lively and for people to want to participate. You get like a synergy after there's a certain number. Like, is there a specific number? And how many people do you have now? And what is kind of the variety? And what do you need as a minimum to make it
It's sort
healthy?
of morphing off of your question.
Sure. Yes, and.
So yeah, we'll answer your question. Basically, our goal is to eventually get to 250 members. I've always learned that like in indigenous tribes and villages and stuff, they always have 150 people. So I think 150 would be like the bare minimum. And then we wouldn't want to really go much more than like 300. We don't need, this isn't to be a huge exchange. This is to build a small community and like a sub-economy for us to be like kind of a family, really. I mean, I have family, but I want a bigger family. I just want more connection. Like I'm not fulfilled unless I connect with different people all the time. I just like to see myself in other people. This is how I am.
Why don't you ask people what they would, if
Yeah.
they were to join,
Yes.
what they would offer?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. Well, that was one of my exercises.
Today,
It's right here.
Yeah. No, here I'm gonna do an exercise real
Well,
quick.
I just want to, for instance, today I did hypnotherapy. I do this every month. I did hypnotherapy and I received aesthetic services. Tomorrow I'm getting my hair done and I'm trading social media services.
See?
Half the room raised their hand and said that they're already bartering. I'm so curious as to what, because it gets my brain like pumping. So
Got it.
yes, like I would like to know if this room today were to sign up, what are the goods, man? I want to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me right now what everyone in this room, if you're willing, I want to know. That's like
There are gonna be trades right now that you guys are. Oh yeah, I need that.
right. So is anyone open? Because half the room raised their hand earlier, so I'm so curious.
Well, I trade services basically, and I'm also growing some produce right now to
Perfect.
trade that. But I was actually with someone else who was going to be here today. I was trying to set up a website to do the same thing, basically what they already set up. So it seems like right place, right time
Yeah.
for me. But
And then that means someone's able to do website development.
yeah, I'm also a permaculture designer, like my buddy here.
Perfect.
And I, do gardening and landscaping. So, I know like the watering systems and plants and all that good stuff. So that's basically what I barter is landscape services or gardening services or permaculture services or design, something like that. So.
Perfect.
And have you signed up yet?
Nope, I just heard about this website.
This is the first meeting.
I was just going to hire you then.
Yeah, nobody's signed up yet
Yeah,
except
and-
for my sister,
I'm kidding.
Micah, and myself.
And us.
Oh, and them. Yeah, there's 4 people in there right
Yeah,
now.
and also one thing I was wondering is if someone who has a steady supply of eggs, let's just say for example, and then someone who does landscaping, when you go on the barter site, does everyone have their own profile? So you
Yeah.
can go around and say, I need a landscaper, I need some eggs, I need some produce, and then you can go around and look at everyone's profile and maybe do a little search.
Yeah.
And say,
You can search, you can browse by category, everything.
And
And
it's
the search looks at the entire description. The search looks at everything. So
So-
if you put landscape
Uh-huh.
and you forget to put yourself into the landscape category, but it's in your description, you're still going to come up.
Oh, I
Okay,
didn't know that.
so I build my own profile, and then when
Absolutely.
someone searches for something that they need that's a part of mine,
Absolutely.
oh, awesome.
That's
what,
right.
What happens if you put yourself up with certain things that you do, but there's nothing you give your service, but there's nothing at the moment on the site that you're particularly wanting. What happens then?
Well, the one big thing I'm gonna make sure happens. I'm an arborist. Another reason I got into this is I throw away a ton of food, like a ridiculous amount. And I've been trying to get people to hang up some of the dates. I went and got dates out of the date palm, and there's about. Well, yeah, they all got ruined over. I should have hit you guys up. I didn't think about it. But yeah, they're being ruined right now by the rain. They're gonna get all moldy. There's nothing I can do. So there's like $3,000 for dates. I got 2 houses that are hung up a couple $100, so I'll be getting some dates out of the work I did. It only took me a couple hours to get those dates, but we want to be able to sell those in bulk to. I've got there's 2 nutritionists that are getting them. They're not here. They're really like, oh yeah, I make meal replacement bars for my clients out of dates. That's so awesome. And both of them said the same thing. I'm like, oh, is this a big thing? And when, I remember them talking about it in my nutrition class I did, but yeah. So.
That doesn't really answer my question.
Oh, so we're backing it up with food mostly.
Well, she's worried that she's going to. She's
not
not
gonna
worried.
like
But the question is, she does a couple of massages and. She now has $150 on her
Oh,
account.
okay.
What if there's nothing in the system for
Like,
her
I
to
don't
buy?
need trees. I don't need trees.
Right, yeah,
What if there's that? Does that just sit there until something comes on there?
Yeah, we don't put, there's not going to be charged any interest on it or anything. It can sit there as long as you want it to.
But how will you encourage those that have?
Well, that's the
certain
thing
things
too.
that are
Now you could say, hey, if you met somebody that has something you want, you could really say like, oh, hey, why don't you join on into this group so I can pay you because I can't afford your services right now. My cash is kind of limited at this point, but I would, if I had the extra money, I would go and buy something like that from you for something. Yeah, you're like the barter expert. You guys
A little bit more? Okay. So, one of the things that you've got to do if you're going to be a member of a barter exchange is become creative. Become super creative with yourself. So, you've got the list of things that you normally pay cash for, and the first list of things that you're going to do is you're going to say, I pay cash for, my marketing. I pay cash to somebody to do search engine optimization for me. I pay cash for this. Let me find these on barter. But when you don't find those on barter, start looking at the directory. Start looking on the trading floor. So we've got 2 sections for you to basically look at. There's 3 sections for you to use. One is transactions. You sell something to somebody and you post a transaction. I'm the seller, Sarah's the buyer, the amount is $100, this is what I sold to her. Easy peasy. The other section is the member directory. I can look by category to see who the members are. The last section is the trading floor. I'm specifically today, I have 3 dozen eggs for sale. Now tomorrow, somebody might have picked them up, bought them for cash. I got hungry. I take them off, I zero them out. But if you buy them, you click on it, and I know when I see Sarah next Tuesday, or I'm going to meet up with her Sunday at church. I'm picking on Sarah because I know her, and I'm going to see her Sunday at church. After I see the transaction, I'll pick up the phone. Hey Sarah, meet you up at church. I got your dozen eggs for you, no problem. I can't sell those. All right, that's the trading floor section. Now, when I have that money, I've got to get creative. You know what? I may not pay cash for a massage, but Sarah's there, and I'm really stressed out. I'm going to do that. I really should have a coach. I really should have somebody kicking my butt, for the stuff that I need to do in my business or in my life. So now, you know what? It's going to make my life better. So that's the part of it that you get creative with. That's the part where you start looking through these things and going, I've always wanted to try this. I've always wanted to do this. Or I know that this will make me better somehow, whether in business, in life, whatever. That's where you're going to get creative. Barter dollars never run out. They never expire. They never go away. You're not going to end up losing your barter dollars. Andrew did mention that he will eventually have a small monthly barter fee. If you see that, you know what, it's going month after month after month after month, and nothing's happening, pick up the phone and call Andrew. Again, he's not doing this as a business. He's doing this as a service to each and every one of us, so that we can take that hour a day that we're sitting there, we've already done everything we can to improve our business, or we've already worked our 40 hours, or, whatever, and that hour a day or whatever where we're just, in Facebook land,
That's a good point.
maybe you can trade your services, or trade your extra produce, or trade your eggs, or whatever it is, or barter for some money. My eggs are going to go bad. If I don't get rid of them, my eggs are going to go bad. The dates are going bad. The produce is going to go bad. Find somebody who's going to take it, have that money in the bank, and then when your tree gets unruly, like mine is, Andrew's going to come and trim the tree out. When the tree gets unruly. If you don't have trees, whatever it is, the bigger this gets, the better it gets, the more stuff there is. It's different than a regular barter exchange, because you're not going to have Andrew calling you once a month saying, hey, what is it that you need? Where can I find your vacation? What can I do? It's not going to be like that. And you're not paying you're not paying that kind of money for that sort of concierge service. Get creative. You're definitely going to have to get creative.
To answer your question, I'm going to give you a few ideas for things that I've done before.
Yeah, I like that.
So one of the things I did to source leads and to get work when I was in Maui, and I was in a situation that she was in, homeless rich. Fiverr.com.
Oh yeah, I love that.
So that's one. Fiverr.com. So it's any service that you sell for $5. They take $1 out, so you make $4, and I use it as a lead gen for websites. Second thing I would check out is TaskRabbit.com, which will give you a load of what people want. Someone wants their groceries picked up. Somebody, right, they're paying. They're going to give you an idea for tasks that potentially you could offer. Then the third is Craigslist, where people are constantly putting in services that they're offering to the community, or like people will say they're car for sale or trade, etc. So I think you can get some really good ideas as to little knick-knack services that you can give, because that's the only thing that's challenging about this is that, right, the difference of someone that has a $10,000 coaching package versus someone that's I will give you 5 Twitter followers. And that honestly comes down to money itself and what we perceive as valuable.
Right.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm always trying to
Very
explain. That's
interesting idea.
not being able to.
Well, and
Why is that worth
Yeah,
$10,000?
in addition to the ideas, I think it's so simple. I'm simply asking the people that raised their hand earlier that they're already currently.
Yeah, what are
ordering.
you
I would
serving?
like
So
to
she
know
does
what it is.
websites.
So I was doing, so for $5 I would do an angel card reading, I would do a 30-second video promotion for a business. Hi, this is so-and-so real estate, blah, 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 blah. I would do a little dance video, like holding a sign for their business.
Right on.
I would do a lot of them were lead gen, so a lot of them were like one teeny tiny thing I'd fix on your WordPress blog for you to realize that you need to hire me for like $100 or $200 project.
So this is the bridge. This is that's
But like here's like ideas, like services.
These are
that
services
that I
that
did.
you were in the community
That-
we could expect to see on the trade table
Yeah,
perhaps.
dance lesson.
So what else?
Well,
I'll tell you what I do. I do treatments, I do reflexology treatments, and for that I get wonderful organic food.
Perfect.
So that's a trade
So
I'm
that's what
doing.
you offer is the reflexology.
And plus many other things actually.
Sure.
But I'm just telling you, ask for an
Yes,
example.
because
So-
see, here's my reason. I do social media, and I intend on placing quite a bit of media out there about how this event went, and so I'm trying to compile a list of the talent that we have in this room
Right,
and what
good.
it is that we'd be willing. So earlier, half the room raised their hand that they already currently barter. I'm asking, what do you barter, so that I can make a tally and I can begin to kind of help express what it is that we created, this dynamic community that came together today with all these different talents. Just trying to tally it out. It's so simple. It's as simple as I do hypno, I do massage, I do reflect. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to
Why
hear.
don't we just go around the room?
I
Start
would
in the
love
corner
that.
and go around.
See
Yes,
that.
that
All right,
was
we're
the
gonna start in the
intention
back.
from the get-go.
The back,
Nikki
quiet
C.
corner.
Yes.
Nikki, what would, if you decided tonight that you wanted to be a part of this?
I've traded everything from babysitting to yoga nidra to yoga, nutritional coaching.
Perfect.
So are we able to list multiple?
Yeah, up to 6 categories,
Okay, good.
but you can
That's
put
good.
up stuff on the trading floor too, so.
Okay, thanks.
Alex?
Coaching, sports, performance, sports performance.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, great.
She does like workshops and things like that.
So right now you're just saying what you, are you saying
If I were
also what
to
you
sign up
traded
right
for,
now-
though, what they've
no.
traded for? Because they're just
No.
saying,
No, I'm interested in
This is what I
what,
want.
as a
This is my
community, we have to
my
offer.
currency that I have.
that's, oh, so you're asking really what everybody's currency is rather than what they've
Correct.
actually, okay,
Yes.
that's different from what I thought.
It's okay, she said it two different ways.
I'm a general practice lawyer.
Yes, we need you.
Okay. And I need everybody in here, believe me, because I don't know how to do anything.
Cool. Right on.
KB, you already kind
I would say, but none of those are what I'm doing now.
Let's
I would
hear
say
it.
modeling and event representation.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Very good. Thank you.
Modeling will be a fun study.
So, video,
Yes.
no surprise. But I can also train people on video, photography, how to shoot if you want to do it on your own.
There you go.
YouTube videos specifically, how to put together a really great kind of package. So anything video related, and then I speak Spanish, so I can teach Spanish.
Wow, I
Nice.
need to brush up on that. All right, I think we're down to the Cohens again. You already said your stuff.
Software.
The software, yeah. And we may put up some of the other things that we do.
Yeah.
We'll see how your group goes.
And the cool thing is too, like you come across something, you have this piece of furniture, you don't want to throw it out, you don't want to give it away, you put that up on the trading floor. It's you put stuff up that randomly comes into your life that you're like, yeah, I don't need this anymore. Somebody else might need it. So giving it to Goodwill. I mean, I guess they do good stuff, but I don't know really what good they do. But Sarah, what you want to go through your list?
Yeah, I'm on the Apple side of the computer, so I teach Apple Mac stuff and help people with their techno stuff. And I do reflexology and energy work, cranial work.
I like that. Paul.
Yes, I've never traded anything, but I just moved here from Las Vegas, and we had a wellness center, third largest in the United States. It took about 7 years and put about 150,000 people through it. So I'm coming down here to put this community together.
Excellent.
And
Okay.
I know Stevie Ann, she's met with my business partner in Las Vegas.
You're definitely great with business coaching and that whole packet. I mean, I would say that's definitely a strength of yours, is helping people create their business plans.
Well, we're creating a blog. It's called 5D Rising, and I know blogs are no longer in fashion, but there's going to also be videos. We have network practitioners. We have about 250 practitioners out of Vegas and about 6,000 members who already would morph into something like this.
Right.
We've
Wow.
been collecting people for the last 8 years. We also want to do a conscious business directory. My business partner in Las Vegas goes and does keynote addresses all over the country on conscious business. We just finished a meeting planners division in Las Vegas convention, and Microsoft is there, Google, and we're going to start doing mindfulness in meetings at Microsoft.
See, that's where we're headed. There's so much need for that. I mean, everybody's talking about the corrupt corporations and all that kind of stuff, and they just treat their employees worse and worse and worse, and there's interior politics fighting. I think that's a big thing you're doing. So
It's getting better, though, I must admit.
It
We
is.
talked about 400 meeting planners. At the end of the convention, as we gave the keynote, we thought 6 people are going to show up, 4,000 people show up.
yeah. See, now what if he was able to, utilize your guys' skills for when he needs it for certain people and things like that?
So I'd like to talk to each and every one of you. We're trying to build like you are trying to build a community.
I'd love to get with you later this week too, just talk.
I would love to. I'm staying right in the complex here. So.
Oh, here?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Kevin Kelleher's.
Right on.
Cool. Apartment for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm living in Chandler right now. My
Sounds
brother.
like a barter arrangement.
But we need to build a community. Permaculture farming is another thing. We're working with an architect and developers to build a small unit, 6 units with a half-hectare of land in the center to show people how we really need to go in the next couple of generations. We can't be there. So.
See, you got 3 permaculture design people right here.
My ears perked up.
Well, that's how I got to really get excited about the system, because I learned the ethics of permaculture, I learned the principles of permaculture, and I saw how I can apply that. I actually did this as my final presentation for my permaculture design course, and basically it's regenerative. When you spend $1, a US dollar, to a corporation, literally 74 cents of that immediately leaves your local area, and I forgot what percentage of it, but it ends up like overseas. It goes away. We lose that value that we created in our country, and it goes somewhere else. With this, it stays and it snowballs and grows. When I give you the money, you can't go to Prescott and spend it. You can't go to New York and spend it. You can't go to, unless you're redeeming it for somebody that's in Phoenix over the internet or something like that. That could totally be. But yeah, it's pretty good stuff. What's your name?
Josh.
Josh, that's right. Okay, Josh.
You guys get offer manual labor, have a truck, if anyone needs to move, things like that.
Yeah.
Man, he doesn't need a truck.
Dude, everybody needs a truck. I get hit up like all the time. And it sucks this time of year.
Days ago, I wish I knew.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's always.
Did
Did she rent a U-Haul? At least she was able to get it. Yeah, she has like no money. She couldn't even rent a U-Haul. I don't know how she pulled that off. But yeah, that's always going on. And I do foraging, and I'd love to be able to pay people barter. They come and help me for free right now. Well, not really. I give them dates, and I give them juice, and I give them whatever. So it's barter. But I'd like to be able to say, you don't have to have dates today. If they come and help me like 3 times in a row, now they got like 50 pounds of dates. Come on. Yeah, so that's the problem I run into. I find these avenues, and people are like, I'll take all the oranges you can give me. Okay. Go over there with a truckload of them. They're calling you a couple days later. Dude, you know anybody that can take these oranges? Oh yeah, how many did you get rid of? I don't know. I've got they just get into a bad spot, and I hate doing that to people. So we also got so let's keep going with get this exercise over. This is gonna take all day.
Alright, cool. My name's Ashley, and the last thing I bartered was for pest control. I don't do pest control, but I got pest control doing like herbal tinctures and polarity, light coaching, hypno. I like babysitting, even animals, and flute lessons and dance lessons.
Cool. Right on. How about you, Johnny?
I make herbal medicine and to teach in like the herbal world. I'm pretty good with technology.
Can't hear you, please.
Like herbal medicine. I like to make herbal medicine and kind of teach about it. And the technology. Pretty good with technology, so I can support in any of that kind of arena.
Kind of like an IT guy?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Everybody needs that more and more every day.
I'm a permaculture designer. I know Spanish.
So it's horrible.
Trying to get a composting worm business started. My wife house cleaning, and that's pretty much it.
Do you need horse manure?
Yeah.
Okay, see me after.
Yeah, I need horse manure.
Yeah.
All permaculture.
Yeah, any permaculture person can say, yeah, put it in my yard.
Look at that.
Joey, you already said, well, you said services though. You said landscaping,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Do you do general contracting type stuff, like little handyman stuff? Can you install an outlet? Can you put in a ceiling fan?
Not too much. I can do. I mean, I've worked as a handyman before, but
You don't have all the tools and stuff for it right now, or?
Yeah, I mean, little stuff like putting a ceiling fan is not too bad. Like, the little stuff is fine, but I'll be mostly advertising for. I mean, I'm pretty dang busy in life right now, but
Sure.
I always try to cut off a little extra time wherever I can for stuff like this, which is why I'm here.
Right on. I like that. What about you, Richard?
I work with startup nonprofit groups, and I also have begun working with startup co-op groups, primarily worker-owned businesses, but dabbling a little bit now with a group that wants to do herbal remedies and things like that, and they're looking at a multi-stake co-op, which would be consumers, workers, and even people who grow.
So you help with the logistics of getting the startup?
I sometimes call myself a nonprofit midwife. I'll take somebody with a wonderful idea and say, okay, here are the steps, and then I'll help walk them through
Love it.
That's
the
a perfect
process.
example.
You're like a doula.
Right on, Mark.
Permaculture design, and I also am starting to go out into the desert and do wildcrafting and bushcraft, so I can teach bushcraft to people. I just got 2 4x4s, so I could actually do an Uber service to deliver people to the desert if they needed to do their own stuff. So, stuff like that.
What is bushcraft?
It's like doing wildcrafting for harvesting, but it's the skills to light a fire, build a shelter, just general stay alive type activities instead of harvesting.
Survivalist?
Yeah, survival.
Right on. And Micah, after going to school for all those years, has so many skills.
Yeah, I was mentored in trauma psychology for 5 years too. So I just call myself a self-care coach, but I specifically I do workshops. I'm a Qigong instructor, and I customize essential oil aromatherapy blends for people based on what they come up, because I'm a craniosacral therapist and a life coach also, but I specifically work with people who have been out of, and I'm still working on how to market this, because abuse isn't a sexy word, neither is trauma, but people who have gone through like abuse and how to stop the pattern of self-abuse once you're out of it. Because I've learned from my own experience that even though my former husband and I have wonderful relationships with each other, co-parent, everything is healthy when we're not together, but how to break the cycle of self-abuse. And I've gotten really good at that, so that's what I'm going to specialize in. It's just self-care coaching is how I'm generalizing it.
And so I just want to say, like, the description part, that's when I guess we give a very brief idea and overview of what it is we offer, and then of course you guys said that we could do our websites and things for
You
detail.
can put anything you want in the description, and you can put hyperlinks in there. So.
Okay, because yeah, that'd be quite a bit to read, but then of course.
Well,
you in
I'm
person.
figuring out, I'm not good at it, of how to, and that's when I need barter help, is somebody that can help me just put a ribbon on how to say what I do.
Yeah. Is that what Nikisi's good at? Yeah, see? I also pointed out at Nikisi.
Do you want some cranial work, moxibustion? I can do all that.
Yeah, and it just makes it easier. And it's tough too for doing barter, like, and saying, oh, do this for me now and I'll do something for you later. But later very rarely ever comes. Or, oh, didn't I do that for you? Or, I mean, I removed a tree to get somebody who was sprouting plants. So I did that, and I was like, I didn't need all the, it was like a $500 job, but I didn't need $500 of plants. But then all of a sudden, it's like, they still owe me like 75 plants, and the next thing they're like, oh no, I gave all, then that happens, and it's like, oh shit, this is really uncomfortable. Who's right? Who's wrong? Wish we would have been keeping track of this somehow. So, oh yes, you, sir.
Thank you. I've been, like others, members of the barter clubs. I was with one 25, 30 years ago. And it sounds like you've solved some of the issues, but one of the things I've not heard, and you probably have covered it, is how do you start it? I know you go on the website and fill it out and so forth, but I got to put dollars on there somehow, don't I?
Okay, that's another thing I wanted to get to. I totally jumped over that spot. So after you choose your categories and everything, you send it, you submit your application, I review it, I process you through it. As soon as I activate you, we automatically loan you 200 credits that you can go out and spend immediately. And if you end up being a person...
Can I just correct that? You're not loaning them 200 credits, it's 200 barter dollar line of credit.
Okay.
It's like a revolving
Gotcha.
credit instead of just 200 in your account.
You gotta learn all this lingo.
Yeah, I need to change the lingo too, because I don't borrow money. I don't borrow anything.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't owe anybody a dime.
Well, you don't have to then. You could just, you could put in a service then, ahead of time, and then get, we give you...
a gift certificate.
Yeah, if you work for somebody in the membership, or in the one of the members in the group, you would get currency for that, and then you could use it to buy stuff in the local area. Here's the thing: if you're weary about like doing a barter with somebody, you can go right on the trading floor and see what's available. If you don't see anything you like on there, say, you know what, there's nothing on there right now that I want to barter for, so I'm not going to do it.
I'll give you an illustration. I'm ready for Mr. Landscaper over here to come out and do his thing. Okay. Sorry, I can't remember your name.
Joe.
Ready for Joe to come out and do his thing. I don't have any barter dollars though. How am I going to pay?
Like I said, when we activate you, it gives you an automatic 200 how do I say
Line of credit.
Line of credit. 200 line of credit.
So play out how that works.
Let her. I'm going to ask Catherine to come up again.
Getting the Fitbit steps in, so
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm
there you
good. All right.
Oh, you
so
got one of those?
I
just
got
saw
one of
that
those. Yeah.
at the-
So it's a line of credit. Every barter exchange has to start every member with a line of credit. It's just the way the system works. I can get into the whole thing, but you don't care. And quite frankly, neither do I. You're going to have a line of credit. And so if you start today, and we've got a storm going on right now, and a tree comes down and is this close to doing your roof in, you can either go pay cash to somebody, or you can give Andrew a call and you can say, okay, you know what, I'm going to use my line of credit. And then you immediately put something out there. You might put out, I don't know what kind of law you practice, but you can, put out, I can prepare your will for you, whatever. But, some people don't like to use their line of credit. I know when I first joined a barter exchange, I didn't want to use my line of credit until I needed something. And I was doing massage therapy at the time, and I needed something a little bit bigger, and I went into my line of credit, and then I immediately was able to pay it back. There's no interest in going into your line of credit. There's, Andrew's not charging interest for the line of credit. It's, it's not a ding on your credit report. It's not anything. But the way the system works, somebody's going to have to be negative in order for somebody to be positive. No money is being created. No money can be created in a barter exchange. It just, that just screws up the exchange entirely. So yeah, if you haven't sold anything yet, you're going to have to dip into that line of credit. And you're going to use that line of credit, and then you're just going to turn around and sell your services and do whatever it is. Because if everybody in this room signed up right now, and one person needed somebody else's services,
that starts the whole thing.
That starts the whole thing going, but somebody's going to be negative in order to be positive.
I got something to add to that.
Oh, these guys.
Yeah, well, it's kind of off topic, but with the trading floor, would we have any way of asking for what we want rather than being like, oh, I'm looking through, there's nothing here?
Sure.
Can we individually message each other or put out a post of saying
wanted? What we usually suggest is that you put wanted. And then, put it in that category. Oh, something else that's going to happen is every day, Monday through Friday, you'll get an email automatically. So everything you all join tonight, you all put up, gift certificates or one or two things or whatever that you get on the trading floor. Tomorrow morning, you're getting an email seeing everything that got put up. So the very next day you see everything that got put up. You see that email Monday through Friday. So you'll know. And you'll see the wanteds too, and you'll go like, oh, I got that.
Just since it is an app, is there any sort of notification dings, kind of like on smartphones, or is it solely going to be email? Just we're checking one location?
Tech guy.
Stuff comes to me.
Tech guy. Good looking sales tech guy.
It is not an app.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a responsive website. So you could pull up on your phone browser the website, and responsive means it responds to the size of your screen, and it looks like an app. You can then, once you pull it up the first time, you could actually go into the menu and save it to your home screen, so you'll have an icon there, just like it was an app. So it's not a true app. There are no things. Everything is done via email.
Okay.
And you were next, and then you.
I was just going to say, if someone in the group wants $400 worth of landscaping, but they don't have enough credits, they need to somehow get enough credits and then...
Or ask for an increased line of credit. And that's all by the administrator of the barter exchange.
Ask the bank for an increased line of credit.
And
Come up with something where you're paying, the balance that you owe in cash. Go sell something and get that extra money. Just like we do in real life.
Well, yeah, go ahead. Allison wanted to say something. And Steve.
Well, I was just gonna ask about the line of credit. $200 is that when you produce the 1099 form fee?
Oh,
no,
okay.
it's not. You're not getting money.
Yeah,
just like you had a credit
you're
card.
Not getting a loan. That's right. Okay. So
Yeah.
now I see the difference.
Yeah, just like if you have a credit card, it's a revolving line of credit. When you spend the money on that credit card, and when your credit card company gives you an increased line of credit,
right.
That is not on any 1099. That's not reported to the IRS. They're just saying, hey, this money is available if you want it. When you make a sale to be able to pay that money back, that is what's reported as income.
And so then just real quickly to follow up on that, like how do you qualify a line of credit extension or just increase?
Yeah, so the more active members.
What qualifies you?
Yeah, so the more active members, if I see someone's going all out, they're spending, they're just like doing $500, $1,000 worth of services a month, I'm gonna jack up their line of credit if they want it. If they call and say, hey, I'm gonna look through their transaction history and say, dang, you do $1,000 every month, I'll give you $1,000 line of credit because I expect you to be able to make that back within a month. This way.
One credit, $1.
Yeah, we're just gonna stick with that, and then
Is that what goes on the 1099
Yes.
fee?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tax? So we're assuming that's.
So real quick, the IRS with
Separate.
TEFRA. The IRS TEFRA Act of 1984, which they're going to change eventually, so I'm told. Basically, what makes the barter exchange legal, legitimate, whatever you want to call it, is the IRS TEFRA Act, and that says that if you are a barter exchange, and if you are, if you are valuing your services, and you're not just trading directly. I'm not, giving them eggs to chop down the trees. We're valuing the services and getting value for that. That value has to be reported to the IRS, just like regular income. You make $100,000 in your business and you make $10,000 in barter dollars. You earn $10,000 in barter dollars, $100,000 in your business. You made $110,000 that year. As far as what's a tax deduction, that's not for us to say. It usually follows the same tax deductions that your cash stuff follows. However, ask your tax professional. We can't tell you what is or isn't a deduction. Andrew can't, Micah can't, and they should not. Neither should we. We can simply tell you that this is usual and customary. This is what people have done, but to not have to hire the lawyer to get our butts out of jail when the IRS comes a-calling, ask your tax professional.
How do you handle customer service issues?
Me.
No, and I mean like between barter people. Like I don't think they gave me a service.
Yeah, I want to know about all that.
It's bound to happen. Or
Yeah,
I don't
it's gonna
feel
happen.
And then I want a discount or a refund or a credit back or.
Yeah, exactly. Well, if someone redeems your gift certificate or something, and they don't end up doing the work, we're gonna reverse the transaction if we find out that they did the other member wrong. Of course, we don't want anybody losing out on it.
So it's a case by case.
Yeah, it's just like when you call your bank, you know, someone does an unauthorized charge on your account, that's basically how I'm going to treat it. If somebody doesn't follow the rules, and that's the thing too, when you guys hit the terms and conditions, say, yes, I agree to this, all that stuff's in there. You have to follow, everybody needs to follow the rules and treat each other appropriately. If they don't, I can just deactivate their account.
If I can, just to follow up on that, just like in the cash world, you're going to go to somebody for a transaction. If there's a problem, you're not immediately going to call Visa and say, hey, this guy was a real bastard to me. What are you going to do about it? No, you're going to take care of it, buyer to seller first.
Right.
Andrew can be a mediator after the fact, after you've exhausted that particular avenue, just like in the cash world.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you mentioned gift certificate. What do you mean by that?
Oh, cool. So, oh yeah. So earlier I was talking about how I put up. I'm the only one that's got things on the trading floor at this point. So there's only 4 of us actually in the system right now. 5, I mean. So, because Steve's in there now. So what I did is right now it's citrus tree season, and I love doing citrus trees, and I love to feed them and take care of them, and I want more customers that I can do that for and teach them how to do it. So I put up a gift certificate for $200 to trim, remove the fruit, and fertilize your citrus tree within a certain size or smaller. And I put up 10 of them. And they're going to stay on there for a whole year until someone redeems them or a year ends, and they'll be removed automatically. I'll have to put new ones up.
You could do a transaction 2 ways. You can call up Andrew, he comes to your house, he does all the stuff, and he says, okay, here's, I'm going to charge you $1,000. What's your business name or your name on the barter exchange? He goes to transactions. He's the seller, you're the buyer, $1,000 trimmed out and, did 10 trees or, whatever it is. Transaction goes through, you get an email, that's way transaction number 1. Number 2 is, as he said, he puts something out on the trading floor. You're looking, 3 o'clock in the morning, you can't sleep. Oh, I need my citrus trees trimmed. Next morning you figure out you don't have any, but that's okay. You click the little button, you buy, a gift certificate for citrus tree trimming. You can print out that gift certificate. You can show it to Andrew on your cell phone, and he can redeem it so that you're not printing it out over and over and over again, paying him once and printing it out over and over again. And we have all these instructions there for you on, how do you print this out? How do you redeem it? So that's all there for you. But those are the 2 ways that you're going to conduct a transaction. The trading floor gives you a lot more control. So, for example, yes?
Wait, as you do the example, just so I understand, because I understand he is already interested in his palm tree deal or whatever.
And I'm interested in him, so we've already got a 3-way. We could just start a group between the 3 of us and be happy at this point.
Yeah, so I'm trying to even understand it. Like, he's already interested. He showed interest this evening.
Right.
But there isn't perhaps anyone here. Maybe you don't need law, what have you.
He doesn't need a lawyer. That's why
he could do the gift certificate piece,
Okay.
right?
I could.
Could he not?
Yeah, anybody can do a gift certificate. Let's say you do will preparation.
Yeah, will. That's fine.
Okay, so you do will preparation, and no will is
500, 1,000, whatever. What would you put a value
I
on?
give them away. They're $250.
Okay, so that's awesome.
So it's a $250 will preparation. So he puts out 10 certificates. That doesn't mean he's got $2,500 in his account. He just has potential to get $2,500.
He needs that.
So right.
No, not 2,500. 250.
But Catherine is
But I'm saying
saying
you
they
put 10 of those
Oh, yeah,
out.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
Right, you put 10 of those out, 10 availability. Whether you put it out as a gift certificate or somebody just buys it and fills in a little information. Hey, I plan on, knocking off my husband tonight, but I really should have a will before I kill him.
Wow.
I know,
You better
right?
watch out, baby.
I sleep with one eye open.
And that's,
You got rid of the chickens, and now it's all over.
that's all over.
Yeah.
But he can put that out, and he has the potential to earn $2,500. So maybe he has a $200 line of credit. He's got the palm tree that needs to be trimmed right now. He'll call up Andrew and he'll say, Andrew, the palm trees are going to be $500. I put these out there.
Right.
Could you increase my line of credit? Now he's negative $500. You're positive $500. 2 of you need to get wills. Boom, you're at 0. 2 more of you get wills. Boom, he's at $500. Just negative and positive. It's just addition and subtraction. God help us if we can't do addition and subtraction. And
Sort of a follow-up. How about if some person that I know who needs landscaping done very badly, can I buy it for them?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. You know, and that's part of the barter is that you're going to limit yourself. So you don't want to do 35 out of your 40 hours a week on barter.
No.
You certainly don't want to do that. But if anybody could buy a gift certificate, hey, my sister needs her lime tree trimmed out, and let me buy a gift certificate, give it to her, she'll call up Andrew. And then in the future, this is the really cool thing about barter and giving gifts like that. That gift doesn't cost you any cash. You look like a wonderful person. And the next time my sister needs her tree trimmed out, she knows I'm not going to buy it for her once. And she'll call up Andrew for cash. Yeah.
When is the 2% paid? Is it paid like right at that time?
No, it's done at the end of the month, every month. And if the balance is less than $5, let's say you only did $400 worth of barter, that would be 2%. Oh, that would be 8.
That would be it.
Where am I at?
You're using hard math.
250. Yeah, I know. I
Okay.
stupid hard
You're
math.
using hard math. So first of all, if
What's
you
the 2%?
okay, so there is a cash fee. There's a small cash fee. Most barter exchanges are 12%. They'll charge you either 12% when you buy something, or they'll charge you 6% when you sell and 6% when you buy. P.S. When you sell something, it may be tax deductible. Please ask your tax professional. But Andrew's going to be doing 2 and 2. Pretty much the same amounts of money that you charge. You do 2 and 2 or 3 and 3?
No, it's 2 and 2.
You 2 and 2 and then 1 and 1.
Yeah, the barter is just
Okay.
1%.
I helped Andrew set up, and I can't remember everybody's numbers in my head. So here's what's going to happen. You sell me a $100 certificate for a massage, and I'm using round numbers. So you sell me a $100 gift certificate for a massage. Andrew's going to charge you $2 cash, $1 barter dollar. Every barter exchange needs to charge barter as well. Andrew's going to charge you $2 cash, $1 barter. Andrew's going to charge me $2 cash, $1 barter. Okay, when I sell you eggs, I sell you $100 worth of eggs. Andrew's going to charge you $2 cash, $1 barter. Andrew's going to charge me $2 cash, $1 barter. It's a service fee. It's it's what's going to go to
run the exchange.
To run the exchange to keep this thing going. Again, it's not the 12% that you're normally going to get. So you're saving a lot of money there. On the flip side, he doesn't have a whole staff that's going to find you a Hawaiian vacation. Yeah.
So it's end of month, whatever I've spent for the previous month or barter, whatever it is.
Yeah, so you get a statement on the first of the month.
So
Statement.
you'll send us something that says you owe me $1.
Right.
Yeah.
You get a statement on the first of the month. Statement automatically goes out every month on the first of the month.
If you don't use it, is there any charge?
What? Pardon?
If you haven't done any bartering either way.
There's no charge.
Until he instates the barter monthly fee.
Yeah, and that's the thing, we're going to eventually have a monthly fee right now for the barter, but the founding members, I'm going to run it until probably Valentine's Day, but whoever gets in before Valentine's Day will never pay a monthly barter fee. Okay,
So that's a pretty decent deal.
Yeah, it's an awesome deal. Like, there's
Okay,
That's the barter credits, the 5 barter credits, right?
Yeah, 5 barter credits. That's what we're talking about. It's not even cash. Yeah, you would never pay a cash monthly fee or a cash
Annual renewal or
annual
sign-up
renewal.
fee or anything.
Yeah.
Your barter dollars don't go to Ireland.
Maybe eventually. There's a lot of places out in Europe doing barter now and try to.
Jobs, you didn't listen to Jobs. He had a $100 million stored away in Ireland.
Holy cow! I didn't know
Got
that.
stuff in China too.
Nikisi.
Okay,
I
so
like this one.
we're using a round number of $100.
Oh, is he trying to?
So
I'm sorry, dude.
the transaction fee hits every time you do $100 worth of.
No, every transaction.
Every transaction. You don't want me to do math in my head if it doesn't
No,
end
I
in a zero.
understand. Okay,
Yeah.
so every.
You do $5, it's going to cost you 40 cents in cash. Or
That's
no,
so good.
4 cents in cash. 4 cents.
in cash.
2%.
Yeah, 2%.
Regardless of what. Okay.
Yeah.
And then is there like a limit or a minimum value that you need to put your services up there for?
No.
Any amount.
If your services.
Whatever you can, what you would charge in the cash world, that's what you charge in the barter world.
Right.
What he's talking about the $5 is when he runs a credit card, when anybody runs a credit card, it's not worth your while to run a credit card for 25 cents. They charge you 35 cents to run that credit card.
Losing money.
So, exactly. At the beginning of the month, on the first of the month, you will get an email, and attached to that email is a PDF, and that shows you how much you owe. If you owe $4.99 or less, you can send Andrew a check, or you can just wait until next month when you owe him more. When you owe $5 or more, Andrew will run your credit card a few days after the first of the month, or whenever you decide to run the credit card. So just, once a month, he'll run the credit card for whatever you owe, as long as it's $5 or more. If it's less than $5, it'll just roll over to the next month, simply because it doesn't pay to run a credit card. The barter dollar will come out immediately, because there's no transaction for that.
And there's no interest on that transaction fee. Right?
There's what?
No, there's no interest if it carries.
Yeah, exactly. That's another thing too. I hate interest. I think that's the biggest problem we have with our monetary system today, is that the Federal Reserve loans out money to our government and then asks them to pay back 10% interest on it, or whatever the interest is. It goes up and down, but I'm just using 10% as a
Easy number.
Easy math. But yeah, so like if they print the money and give it to the government and then say, here's $100,000, now you have to pay us back $110,000. Where's that other $10,000 come from? It doesn't make sense, and that's how things get inflated. So that's another reason why I think the traditional barter groups have inflated prices, is because everybody's trying to make up for that interest they got to pay back. If they have a negative balance on their barter account, they charge you. They charge you and they charge you.
Some.
The one I'm in does.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been trying to raise his.
Have you? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He's been trying.
I'm just wondering if there's any kind of plan for sales reps to sell the barter group to other businesses.
Well, I kind of am. I always am doing it. It's weird. Like, I'm totally obsessed with trying to like connect with people and find ways for us to be able to do more things together. So I'm always talking to people. I see probably 15 or 20 people a week that are new people. So I'm always going to be out there doing it. You guys are obviously going to be out there doing it, because once you start doing it, believe me, it becomes a lot of fun. It's like having It's like playing with Monopoly money. It really is. And it's like having a little savings account. And the cool thing is, nobody's ever going to hoard this money. There's no reason to stash a whole bunch of this barter money. Like, what are you going to save up for? You can't buy a house, you can't buy land, you can't pay your bank loan, you can't buy a car. So no one's going to hoard it. They want to get rid of it because it's just sitting there and it can be used. And we all get into those modes where we're like, I just feel like doing this today, and you just go on and look for something and boom, go redeem it. Go have fun. Maybe Mark will take you out bushcrafting. But I'd like to take him up, because I actually am going to be moving out by Lake Pleasant. I'm coming into town like once a week, for 3 days at a time, with half up there, half out here. So it'd be good, because I'm going to be doing workshops, something I could utilize to get people out there if they can't get out there themselves, or they don't want to spend $15 in gas. Go ahead, Stevie.
So I like that you guys are talking about all the positives, and you've done this for some time. So what would you say are some of the most positive comments that you get back? What is this gifting our community? Because I just kind of want some key words.
Well, let me just say that we did it as a business. It was our livelihood for 10 years, opposite of what Andrew's doing. When we did it, it was Christmas time was the best time for us, because we got all the gifts for all the nieces and nephews, all on trade. So it was fantastic. I mean, that was the best time of year.
A business can start up with less capital than they would normally need to start up, because they can use, when you open up your doors, you're not getting 1,001 people knocking down your doors.
You got plenty of time.
We actually had a member of our barter exchange who's an attorney here and in California. He passed the bar here, he passed the bar in California, and for whatever reason, for a while, he just got out of the legal profession. And so he decided that he wanted to start getting back into the legal profession again. And he started as a member of our barter exchange so that he could start building a reputation, so that he could start building up his business. We've had people who are designers, we had a coffee shop start up. We were able to up their line of credit to get design and website and labels printed and to the tune of $6,000, so that when they opened up their doors, that wasn't $6,000 out of their pocket.
Right.
They had the coffee there anyway. 10% of the coffee was sold on barter, 90% of the coffee was sold for cash, and that's not cash out of your pocket. I could tell you story upon story upon story about how when you barter something, you've got that little savings account. Culminating in my own story was that when I had breast cancer in 2006, I didn't want to go the traditional route. I didn't want to go the whole traditional route. And so I was able to take the barter dollars that I had earned over the years and go to a naturopath and go to a hypnotherapist and do things other than, well, you need chemotherapy and that's going to cost $100,000. So I know you had your hand up.
Yeah. Okay, so I just want to get this straight because once you started talking percents and transactions and 2 to 1 and 2 to 1. So if I buy a $100 massage, it's going to cost me $102 barter dollars and $1 real money.
Other way around.
Opposite. 101 barter, $2 cash.
Okay.
And in the barter industry, when we talk cash, we just mean U.S. currency. Just so we're all on the same page with that.
Yeah, because we can't call this cash.
Correct.
But
Or you can, but you can go to jail.
Right.
Money.
Yeah. We want to make like a name for it. I was thinking, I like how you said favors earlier. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Like, hey man, it's 100 favors,
A lot
like
of people do things out of the goodness
because
of
we're
their
doing it
heart,
for favors. That's really what it is.
but it
We're
really
not,
costs us something. Even if we don't want to admit that it's costing us something, it's costing us something.
yeah, we're trying to do someone a favor, right? Yeah, it does. It's
I
an
want to
obligation.
expand on Stevie's
Yeah,
initial
thank you.
question.
Because I get the story, but also there's the accountability piece. There's like it's all in one place. I just kind of want to
Accountability.
As
all
a
the
member,
positives.
I can tell you the positives of them as a member from the other group. Okay, I gotta stand up though, because my back's sorry. Okay,
Just stay over
so
here, though.
here are the best things about being in a barter group from our experience. Because he's the one who talked me into getting into the other one that we're in.
Well, and you
We're
saw
in.
how I built my business.
He built
was-
his business. He didn't have a vehicle either, and I was driving him around in the car I had at the time. I dropped him off on jobs to do barter. But what would happen is the neighbor says, "Oh, will you do my tree? Will you do my tree? Well, you did such a great job. Come back and do my tree." And he would get literally minimum 2 cash jobs for every barter job he did. Okay? So we still see the person that did our hair and everything. Obviously, I can't afford it now and I don't have barter, but that's another story. And we refer people to him because he did such a good job. And he has always worked with us when we were barter and we needed help. He was always there. He was reliable. So you get to learn people's reputation as a business owner. Word of mouth is huge.
Right.
Because people see you're able to do your work. And that's what's so tough right now and what I was trying to get to earlier. You don't get to practice your work when you're doing a 9-to-5 job and you're just throwing out information on social media, just praying somebody bites. You actually get to do this, practice it, and get honest feedback because you're building a community and you're getting close-knit with each other and getting good feedback from other people who are barters because it's definitely more community-driven. Something about the cash hard dollar kind of has its own energy. It's got its own almost separation to where it's a transaction, but when it's community driven, it's less of a transaction and more of a fluid exchange.
So I want to add, so some people would say, and we had this come up on the page, people that are like instantly anti, right? They just kind of, they're shying away from it. They're saying, well, I can just post on Facebook that I want to exchange. They're going to say, why pay $1 or $2 when I can just ask my friend and barter? But one of the main benefits, I guess, is the credit piece, where even if we don't necessarily need what someone else has to offer, there's like this ever-evolving.
Yeah, and don't think for a minute that if we go into the barter group and we're not seeing what we want, we're not still going to throw it out on Facebook and say, hey, I need this, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Why not do both?
Yeah, it doesn't, there's no exclusiveness. Yeah.
Why are you limiting yourself to
Bring
just
them in.
one avenue?
Right.
I don't want anybody is though.
But bring them into that too,
There's
right?
no ors in this world. This is all and. We can do cash and we can barter and we can post on Facebook and we can bring friends, you know? There's no, it doesn't have to be all exclusive and inclusive.
It's also a place to keep track of everything rather than
Right.
You said, oh, you sold me 75 trees. I thought I gave them all to you.
Right.
Are you
To
sure?
try to avoid.
And it's such an awkward position for
Yes.
both parties to be in, because it took like 8 months, and I thought I'd be redeeming it within a couple months. So I was like, oh, we'll definitely remember. I was even keeping track in my cell phone. That's how I think I'm right, because every time I went over there, I'd put it in my cell phone. Okay, I took 2, now I'm down to 5, now I'm down to 1, down to 4. You know.
But you've got the benefit of a mediator.
Yeah, it's
So
basically-
barter group is also acting as a mediator in transactions, so that if there's ever any confusion as to value or what this person, somebody can step in as a mediator and take care of it, like customer service almost.
That's just one person though. Wouldn't it be good to have maybe
There will be more than one.
team? 'Cause that's a
There
lot
will
to
be.
I'm sure at least one person.
Well, again, you have to realize that
Yeah.
Andrew's not doing this as a business, so the money isn't going to be there for salary.
Right.
Yeah, this is the
Somebody.
bare. We came up. I mean, I spent time figuring this out. We came up with the bare bones minimum we can charge in U.S. dollars to be able to make a sustainable business. If we go and do this, and it ends up costing at the end of the year, it costed me more money to run this than it actually brought in. Why the hell am I going to keep doing it? Like,
Why wouldn't you
where am I
do
going to
the
get my
business so that you are able to have so it works for you? I mean,
Right.
There's nothing wrong with.
But we all need to make it work for each other. That's the whole thing, you know. So, but that's what I'm saying is we went to the bare bones minimum on what we can do. So,
It's the mindset that Andrew came to this with. So that the mindset that he came with is it's a self-service sort of thing, and it's the you're not going to get a monthly call from your customer service person. You're not going to have somebody who's always there, saying, oh, put something else on the trading floor, put something else on the trading floor. That service is going to cost you, if you were to do that, that would cost you 12%. So rather than in cash, so let's not even talk about the barter dollars. Rather than paying $2 on selling me a $100 gift certificate, you'd have to pay $6 on selling me a $100 gift certificate, rather than paying $2 when you took that money to buy something, you'd pay $6. So rather than paying $4 on a completely round transaction,
If it runs, I mean, there may be a reason why people charge that, and if it makes it run better, I'd rather pay a little bit more and have to know that it's running smoother and it's not all going to go clunkety clunkety clunk.
well, here's the thing: is those traditional exchanges. These are all businesses, and they're doing thousands of dollars per business every month. I mean, they're doing big volumes. So it takes a lot more customer service to be able to be a concierge for actual business owners that have brick and mortar stores and a staff of their own. They don't.
And they're doing barter? These people are doing barter?
That's what a traditional.
Absolutely.
That's what a
Yes.
traditional exchange makes up.
What kind of store?
every kind of
Every
stuff.
kind of
We-
Well, Catherine got
I've just
LASIK.
never done bartering.
Yeah,
so
Catherine
I
got
would
LASIK
like-
on
I've
barter.
gotten LASIK done on barter. We had a
Hair
member in
clubs,
San
that's-
Diego, a drugstore in San Diego,
One of my
who
friends
had
got one.
$100,000 barter in their account. We've done
Yeah.
transactions for
Other
$40,000,
countries.
$50,000, $60,000. Barter is big business.
Yeah.
That's not what these guys are trying to do. These guys are trying to create a small community. You know, again, instead of you saying to Andrew, cut down the trees, I'll do some massages, you owe him 10 massages, he gets 7 massages, there's 3 massages out in limbo, no, I gave them to you, no, I didn't give them to you, no. Instead of doing all that bull,
Yeah, I'd rather pay like the
you know,
$10 or whatever to make
this
sure.
is the software has 2 purposes. Number 1, to track every transaction so you know exactly how much you spent and exactly how much you have in your account. Number 1. Number 2, for barter exchanges in the US, the software puts together everything so that Andrew and Micah can do the reporting to the IRS as is the law. Because if they don't do it and the IRS finds out, they're in a world of hurt. So that's why we asked for the Social
I just want to
Security.
make sure you're covered rather than it, you know.
It won't get so big that needs to be a concern. Because
Yeah,
like
that's
he
what-
said,
Pay a little bit more.
yeah, like
you
he
have to
said, he
ensure
doesn't
that
want to
you're
have
covered.
Well,
more
and
than
that's-
250 members. And the point is to have a platform for people who want to just expand a little on what they have and build their business. If they get that big, like he said, he didn't need the barter group anymore once he got his cash business flowing. You see, that's the main goal. This isn't for big, huge companies. They're going to need that much management.
Yeah, like a business owner wants to just call someone up and say, hey, who do I go to for this service? They don't want to go on the website. But first of all, because the websites are terrible. But
The others.
The others, not ours.
No, ours is awesome.
Yeah.
The other ones, the other exchanges, I mean, you can't find anything. They have to have customer service reps because nobody can find anything that they're looking for on there. And if they do, it's old. Oh no, that person's not even with us
So
anymore.
it's a bit like calling your medical insurance. You have to
Yeah.
call the customer service, see what's covered.
Right.
Oh yeah, right. But yeah.
Andrew, yes.
Oh,
Hand up.
Mr. What is your name?
David.
David. Thank you, sir.
No problem. What kind of volume are you anticipating these 250 people will do?
The reason I put it at a 200 credit line. Yeah,
Line of
got it.
credit.
Line of credit. Dang it. Okay, so the reason I did 200 line of credit is I figure if somebody makes, the average American makes probably like 30 grand a year. So they're probably bringing home about $2,200 a month. So I'm trying to make it so like 10%, if we went by, they did 10% of their work every month on barter, it'd be like $220. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like if everybody spent 10% of their work time on barter, then they'd be spending about $200 a month each. You see what I'm saying? Like they would
$3,000 a year.
Yeah, exactly.
If I could add to that, just from our examples, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, and they've been running them. So
We have barter exchanges that use our software all over the world. So we have barter exchanges that have 250, 300 members that do $2,000 a month in volume. I also have barter exchanges that have 250, 300 members that do $900,000 a month in volume. So everything is going to be dependent on the community and how active everybody wants to be in it. Andrew can guess all he wants what the volume is going to be, but until it actually gets rolling, nobody could say. I mean, really what you want is everybody doing anywhere from $150 to $250 a month. That's probably right around a comfortable area for you for this exchange.
yeah, cool.
Yeah, it kind of feels like a community version of like Groupon or something.
I know. You know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I
it's
bet-
kind of cool actually. Like,
and I'm thinking it's
I
like.
love Groupon. Like Groupon is actually how I find new restaurants. I'm like, yeah, booyah, go on, try it out, get a coupon, and then you get like the Groupon bucks.
Yeah.
And you just, I feel like it's like that, but for
Barter.
Like that.
yeah, and for
Smaller community.
a little bit more of that, like you were saying, that community personalization. Where, like,
Neighborly,
there's a
too.
name and a face connected to each other. And actually, I don't remember the name, but Seed Spot has a entrepreneur doing something similar to this that I feel like you should reach out. Both of you should reach out to them.
Who's that?
I cannot remember the name.
I'll just call Andrew.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I work with
So
them.
she's doing
It's
the services for in your
It's social
neighborhood.
entrepreneurship.
Correct.
It's
So
for high school and college kids.
no, specifically for the Seed Spot demo day they just had, they were doing a service where you, instead of getting a business, like your neighbor would help take your trash out, or your neighbor would.
Oh,
That's
It's
something
not-
new, because I haven't been there in a couple of months, really.
I was just there at their presentation. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think it would be worth. I feel like they're very in cahoots with what you guys are doing.
Well, and that's the thing too. Sarah mentioned like
I'd reach out to them.
maybe I'd want to be in a group that charges a little bit more and I get better service. So I'm doing this because I wrote down 26 things that I am passionate about doing. 26 that I could do any time of the day and be like, yeah, I love it. But if I do the same thing every day, all day, I end up hating it.
Yeah,
And unless I take a break and then go back like a week later and I'm like, oh yeah, I rediscovered my passion.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. It's like it's to help a lot of these multi-potentialites that have all this stuff to offer and they really want to like keen in on stuff. And every year I feel different. I have like a different kind of thing going on with me. And I think everybody changes year to year, season to season. And you might want to get into something else just on the side, like just to do something that makes you feel fulfilled, that you were able to do for someone else and not just get, thanks for doing this for me, that was so great, but also really get tangible credit. So you're getting paid like twice, you're getting that gratitude and then you're getting something you can redeem. Are you raising your hand or just being all sexy back there?
waiting for you.
Sexy.
Yeah, no, I have independent thoughts. The first one might be just more of like a navigation thing for the website, but like for instance, right now you're the only person who's been able to post the gift recently uploaded gift certificate, like,
It's both.
you know what I mean?
It's both. So everything that's recent will go up on the front of the page,
Right.
and as you scroll down, you'll be through the most recent, and then also you can go browse by category. You can also search.
Right. Okay.
So you got 3 ways to find the stuff you want.
I just have to say, Andrew does a better job at this and knows the software and picked this up faster than people who pay us a boat ton of money to learn barter, to start up their website, and to start up their exchange. And like a year later, it's, did you get your first customer yet? Oh, no, still arranging the pencils on my desk. Yeah, no, still. Okay, you can keep paying me. You can keep paying me. Oh, yeah, no, I can't go out yet because my business card isn't right. In 2 days, Andrew had this forwards and backwards. So Sarah, if you're worried about how efficient this thing is going to work, and I'm not saying that because we're standing here and Andrew.
I'm just asking questions.
No, but I'm saying, what I'm saying is in 2 days, in 3 days, he had this down pat better than, people who've been in the barter industry for years. So I just want to say that. I'm not saying that
just to make sure he was covered.
Yeah.
It was more to, for an extra $1 that you're covered in your life rather than keeping it on a minor bones kind of way. I just think things run better if the person who's running it is covered.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said. That's why I figured out that the 2% per transaction would be a fair thing.
Is that enough for you?
Let's say my goal and what I know is going to happen is just going to happen. I already had I've literally been calling people. This didn't just happen overnight, but it happened pretty quick. But once I put the idea out there and people started coming and they were like, dude, hello. I'm like, oh yeah, right. Everything just came together like boom, so perfect. And so I know by the end of this month we'll have 50 people in here, no problem. I mean, I already had 50 people say, yeah, just because you're doing it, I'll join. So there's 3 people here that said that. So, or 4. So, like 25% of those people are here and there's new, fresh people here. So, and
it's the first time I've come to anything on bartering. It's not so I'm just asking a ton of questions so I know more about it.
Yeah, so I want to get it up to 50 by the end of the month. And I know I'm going to do it.
We're all like meeting each other.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be a good thing to do like every month or so that different people can meet?
I'm glad you said that. So in my presentation, I go through all the stuff we're going to do to make this more of a community-oriented situation. So we're going to be doing monthly potlucks, where we're going to meet at a park, somewhere where we don't have to pay anybody anything to do it. Everybody brings a dish. Everybody gets to know each other, talk about what you do, and you might even just make transactions right there. Then we're also going to be doing weekly workshops, which I've already had been doing free workshops for the general public just to get them to come over and learn how to do, gardening type stuff. I'd love to have, people do their coaching programs and stuff like that, where every week people can get together and do work together, like work side by side and do something that's productive. What's that?
Feature a member, like a new member, they can present what they do or something.
Yeah, and I want to do like a networking type thing too. Like, this is what's going to happen. Every group that's out there, there's the little subgroups that form, and everybody's going to go and do their own thing, and I'm going to encourage people to, bond with each other and make your own little groups. And that's one thing I want to talk about too tonight. It's like, if we just get 20 people who are like, no matter what, man, you can count on me, I'm going to barter. Like, I will always do it. If we find the right 20 people, just that core people trading amongst each other, even if it's like, I just want to get a massage from Sarah every month. So I'm definitely every month I'm going to hit you up, Sarah, to barter with you. And, whatever people have to offer, they say, yeah, definitely I will spend this much with them, I'll spend this much with them, and spend this much with them every month. Which I think will be pretty easy to come across too. Yes, Nikki, Sam.
Well, and so I think that also lends itself, like, if we're talking about maybe weekly things, that's an awesome opportunity to just almost like freely promote. Like, we could do weekly features, like feature a local, barter participant, and you can,
that's what she was saying too.
Market yourself then that way by giving off like a free 1-hour workshop highlighting like what your strengths are, what your skills are, what you're offering. So you could do maybe like a MacBook demonstration, like the top 10 questions you get answered, or the top one thing to maximize efficiency for you uploading your photos, or whatever the case might be. And then the other thing I was going to ask you, which parlays into this, which is, we got a sneak peek preview of your video that wasn't able to show tonight.
too, because that
Yeah,
really is,
it's going up
it's like
tonight.
a really awesome 23-minute comprehensive like video of what exactly the community reserve is. So.
Is it too long? I think it's too long too. Yeah.
24 minutes is ridiculous.
Oh, the time of sitcom.
He doesn't watch TV. Look at it. He's from Ireland, right?
Exactly.
You guys killed your TVs over there.
I do have a question. Now, let's suppose that I have someone that I think needs my horse manure. I don't have the horse manure, my daughter does.
Oh, okay. You're trying to help her unload it.
And I'm going to get my daughter to join so that he can have his horse manure.
Right on.
Okay? Do I get anything for doing that?
That's something you'd have to put up between them. You'd have to.
I think he's asking if you're giving any sort of referral bonus for getting
for bringing people in.
Yeah.
In
Yeah, I
the
like
Play
it.
Now area, it does say, who are you referred by? So is there something
Right.
like that?
That's a great. See, this is why we get together. I totally forgot about that aspect. of it.
I will tell you,
Exactly.
if it's something that you're thinking of, our system is this close to having that functionality built in.
Oh, okay, cool. So
Yeah.
it's going to be available very soon. That's why.
Yeah, it would likely be barter dollars.
Yeah. So I'd like to
Yeah.
hook you up with some barter.
Barter dollars.
Yeah, some barter credits.
It give you a line of credit.
No, we don't want to give them a line
No,
of credits.
just
They have to
the
pay that
barter
back.
dollars. Got it.
Or if they use it, they have to pay it
Yeah,
back. They don't have to pay it back if they never use it.
I'll have a conversation with Andrew because we don't want Andrew to be way in the negative because that's what makes a bad barter exchange. That's a whole economic discussion, but we'll talk about that and figure out what's a decent amount for referring somebody over that won't put the barter exchange upside
Oh
down.
yeah, that's.
And
Yeah.
keep in mind also that is income and that will appear on your 1099B.
form. Yep.
The security behind the socials,
Behind the socials?
The social security and things.
numbers and your.
Okay, like
It's
the
the
socials.
millennials. The socials. This is millennial
the
term.
socials.
Yeah, but understand
We're
I'm
old,
asking
sweetheart. We're old.
questions, too.
Yeah.
Please understand that I'm asking questions from the people that are asking on
No,
the
absolutely,
Oh, cool.
absolutely.
I
And
feel
you
like there's
rock.
been a lot of
I-
tension tonight, to be completely frank, and it's.
No, I wish
we
you
don't
would.
know how to voice these things, but we're acting on behalf of a lot of our community.
I intentionally didn't answer some of those comments on Facebook because I wanted everything to be introduced here.
Sure.
I didn't want
He
to
had
steal
to keep
Andrew's
yelling
thunder.
at me.
Oh, you-
Stop answering Andrew's shit for him.
Even
Yeah.
some folks are kind of negative, and I go, well, are you going to be in attendance tonight
Yeah,
to
no.
ask? Oh, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
first of all,
No, right.
this is banking class software. I know somebody right at the beginning says, "Oh, I'll write it for you, Andrew, no problem."
Yeah, right.
We're 8 years into writing the software and we're still not done. If anyone was going to write it, it would cost at least $500,000. Just start with that. Our encryption is 256-bit encryption. I'm sorry,
No,
2048. You confused me,
I-
Jay. We used to be. So we're 2048-bit encryption on our secure server.
Yes, sounds like English.
It's very secure.
Got it.
Keep in mind, nothing is 100% secure. Just ask Target and
Sure.
Sears and Penny.
Sony.
Yeah.
Sony.
So this is as secure as anyone can get. It is banking class software.
Is there a way to give you social security is not online? I mean, I don't like putting my social security online. I just don't.
It's secure.
I don't want
It's
that.
encrypted
I don't
on
want
the
that
server.
liability. I won't even take someone's social security number. See, the thing is, I never even see him.
If-
It's in the system, and I don't want.
Yeah,
it.
he
I
can't
don't
see.
want you getting your identity stolen one day, and then it comes back. Oh, well, Andrew had access to my social security. No.
Yeah, one of the things that was very important to us was security. That was and still is our highest priority. If the social security number is not in the system, Andrew has no way of getting you your 1099B because that means he'd have to do everybody's manually. Okay, and that would be bad for him because he'd spend a week doing it straight, 80 hours a week. Yeah, and my trees won't get trimmed. So we got to make it easy for him. Once the numbers are entered, and by the way, it does get entered into our secure server. Once the social security number is entered, only the last 4 digits are seen. That's all that Andrew can ever see. And that's one of the reasons we built this software to begin with. All of the other software out there, you can click a little button, you see free and clear everybody's social security number. This one, only the last 4. Same thing with credit card information. Only the last 4 digits are able to be seen by Andrew or anybody. Even you logging into your own account, you cannot see the whole number, whether it's your social security number or your credit card number. That's the security that we have in this. It's the encryption on there. Again, it's 2048-bit encryption, which means it's this long, and it would take a hell of a long time to crack it.
You can use a tax ID if you don't want to use your social, if you have a tax ID.
Well, it's the same thing. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. If you're a company, you'd use your employee ID number. If you're individual, you'd use a social. Yes.
Okay, so there's another question with that. You guys have to, please forgive me.
No,
I'm
please.
so new to all this.
You don't have to apologize every time you ask a question.
Yeah, I love this.
We opened an LLC, right? Because, and this is going to be a majority of our students, I think, too, the entrepreneurs. This is great for them. Just open their LLCs. Would it be beneficial financially? You may not be able to answer this, but should they fall under the LLC or as an individual?
He's not going to answer that. I'm not going to answer it. She's not going to answer it.
Ask
Talk to your tax professional.
Yeah.
You're going to learn that, by the way,
You guys
Andrew.
don't have.
I can't say it.
David is doing
business within
He's a lawyer, ask him.
Exactly.
Because it would be better off, I guess, financially in the end when you're getting, right.
You want to ask your CPA or tax attorney. We cannot answer that.
Credit.
Yeah, we absolutely cannot, we will not answer those questions.
I can tell you a benefit if they did do that, right?
You can tell them a benefit, but you have to follow everything with, confirm this with your tax professional
got it.
and with a legal professional.
Right.
Okay,
That's,
so
you know,
or
one
it's not on
benefit, one benefit I would see is that, and you have to talk to your legal or
I got that.
professional.
Yeah, we prefaced it with that. And
Okay.
give me the real, I'm your friend, give it to me real, let's talk real talk.
Yeah.
Because
So
our community, you know that there's hundreds of students that are going to be interested in this, but we want to set them up for failure, especially seeing as I instruct the business class. So if I can give them, and we give LLC guidance, and so I want to be able to at least educate them. It's not guidance or advice, I'm not saying you have to or you don't, but I'd love a bit of intel that I can give them saying, and if you sign up under your LLC, this is what you can expect.
yeah, I was gonna say one benefit I would see to that would be your business is showing income. The longer your business shows income, the better credit you have in the future. That's what banks look at. That's what vendors look at. They look at your income for your business, and if you started out, even if you brought in $500, that's a huge deal.
Right. So credibility alone.
I would do it for that reason.
Right. And you've said that this has helped your business.
I wouldn't have 2 businesses right now and I'm working 20 hours a week. Like I've got these businesses paying for all my stuff, and I only have to work 20 hours a week. And so it's pretty cool, and it's all because I started on barter. I went out, I worked my butt off. And the cool thing is that barter money, like when you're developing like the perfect flyer or the perfect website or things like that, you can go out there and just keep testing stuff because you're using this barter money, and these barter people just, they just want to spend it. It's there. So instead of spending my hard-earned dollars that I need to pay my rent with, need to buy food with, need to pay my phone bill, car payment, stuff like that, I can keep my US dollars to pay those things and then use this barter currency, and that's how I started my marketing. I mean, I sent out flyers. I was able to save up enough to design, print, and have delivered 10,000 flyers.
This is all work-related, business-related expenses.
Yeah, it's all right.
So, I mean, I understand I can't
check with
give
Check with your
guidance,
attorney.
but it'd be great to really
Where do you
support.
teach? Where do you
At
teach?
Sweetheart, the Healing Arts.
Okay,
Center.
are there any accounting professionals at Sweetheart?
No.
Okay, so here's what you would say to somebody.
But because it's a for-profit school, we encourage everyone and in our Success Center to get their LLC and things like that. So I really want to be able to educate them on an opportunity.
If you're going to LLC or S Corp or C Corp or whatever corp your business,
yes, and that's part of it.
this is your business.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're going to do it for your cash business, you don't necessarily need to separate it. If it's something that's not going to be your business and you're just doing it on the side, I'm not setting up an LLC to sell you a dozen eggs. It's just too much of a pain in the rear end for me. The 1099-B form is going to be the same. There's different requirements for the 1099-B form. We make it fall under the requirement where majority rather than the minority goes.
Okay,
which
great.
simply means that a C Corp is going to get more information than they need. Everybody else is going to get the information that they need. A C Corp is going to get more information than they need. Too bad. At the end, it's got a little total amount, and that's what you need, a little total amount. Sarah, see you later.
Yeah, we're going to sit on it.
Sorry to be evasive, but we just have to be real careful with that.
Right, otherwise I gotta hire David, and I'm not sure he's gonna have that,
Especially
take
when,
that much
especially
on
since we're
board.
being recorded.
Well, we were just talking about referrals and stuff, and I know, like, we know our communities, that's where they're at. They're LLCs and they've got a lot to offer, and this is their mindset. So if it's behoove them to put it under, to sign up initially as an LLC.
Yeah, like Catherine said, if they're doing their cash business as an LLC,
Yeah.
they do this as an LLC.
It's just an extension of your business, or it's an extension of your hobby, whichever.
There are certain benefits that a corporation gives you above an LLC. So,
Right, and we can't, we can't speak
I
to
know.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting that to
Yeah.
you at all. Just
Well,
throw that sometimes it's better to have a corporation.
Yes.
Exactly.
this night has been awesome. I really appreciate you guys all showing up. Anybody that's really serious, I want to do a little get together next Wednesday. I want to take you guys to a place in Scottsdale, and we'll have free appetizers for you and stuff, and be able to.
Oh, we'll be there.
Yeah, you guys will be. Here's the thing. I'm about to throw up. I'm working on getting. Yes, everything's gonna go on the Facebook event. Oh, thanks so much for coming, Sarah.
I really am excited to know more. So
Okay, so check that page later.
And you'll put the
What's your last name too? I'll look for you and friend you. Lucas?
Yes, please friend me. And without the H, Sarah, not
Sarah,
Sarah.
my bad. Oh, you got it.
No, you're long enough now.
Yeah.
Well, my aunt was SARA, but we said Sarah.
I know.
Well, actually, it was Severina, but we didn't call her that.
We're from New York, we say Sarah.
That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
He's cool.
I'm a little bit further east, so I said Sarah. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. So that's another thing I'm working on too. I'm working on getting a bunch of gift certificates for restaurants around town. 3 of them are like right on the light rail, super easy to get to. So I'm putting together that. Those will actually be up on the trading floor by the end of the week. There will be about.
I would suggest putting them up after you get new members so that they can get it in the email.
Oh, so it comes in the email. We'll just put up a couple and then put them up. I'm gonna slowly add. Yeah, I know. Well, no, Hey, thanks a lot for coming, Mark. I'm gonna be actually limiting how many you can buy because I'm only gonna have 80 of them. 80 $25 gift certificates in there from businesses.
He knows I control the database, right?
Yeah. So yeah, we're also me and my business partner in Treelation. We actually do barter work for businesses, straight up trades, because they have trees, and it's a restaurant, and we just get gift certificates from them. So there will be brick and mortar businesses to redeem your barter currency with, but they're not going to be members. They're just going to give us gift certificates, and we take care of it. So
That's a good idea.
that's another business. What's that?
I said the gift certificates is a good idea.
Yeah.
People are like, oh shit, let's $25.
Yeah.
Also, so we can just go on our phone right now, put in our stuff, and we're members. Done.
I will have to approve you.
Okay,
But I'm gonna approve everybody here. How's that?
So we apply, basically.
Yeah,
and then
you're doing an
After
application.
that, we're trading.
Yeah, and then after that, you can start buying stuff right on the trading floor and hitting each other up. Just so you know.
Just to follow up to make sure I didn't miss something, okay?
Yeah.
I probably did, but and I apologize if I did. But did I understand that you, these folks, and I don't know either of your names. So
I'm Barry, that's Catherine.
Hi, Barry, Kevin. Are very close to having some sort of solution to the software issue that would allow us to get some sort of benefit for bringing a member in?
Right, and that'll be controlled by Andrew.
Yeah, I understand.
He would set whatever the amount is. But yes, we're probably a week, maybe less away.
Let me take a step back.
Okay.
Right now, you could refer somebody over, and Andrew would have to do a manual, amount.
Yeah.
And I'd like to. I suggest that you not say an amount until we speak. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to until you said that earlier.
So right. So right now, manually, you could do that.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do eventually, what we're in the process of doing, software is an ever-evolving thing. We launched the software in 2009. So the software is 7 years old next month.
Okay.
It's an ever-evolving thing, and this will just be that it's automatic now. You refer somebody over, and it'll be automated. That's the only difference. You refer your daughter over today. She puts down in the referred by column you, and you're a member. Andrew can manually put that in. So don't wait on us, because when our business partner tells us something is going to take a week, I anticipate 3.
And he had this nerve to like have a baby a couple of weeks ago, so.
I know, right? And he wants like time off.
That's a medical miracle that he had a baby.
It was a fart baby.
What can I say?
Oh God.
No, the reason I was asking had something to do with her, but I'm with the manure business because that was just an illustration that I had. But I've been in the valley as a lawyer for 38 years.
You may know people.
So I got 1 or 2 people that I know, and part of those I already barter with.
Okay.
But we do it privately. He owes me $500. He does $500 to nail driving or screwdrivers or whatever it is that people do with those things.
Yeah.
That I don't have any idea what they do with those things. But when they get through, it's pretty good.
Fix stuff.
But I have one Buddhist Vietnamese family, for example, that painted everything I owned except my car.
Wow.
Okay? And we had barns and stalls and houses, and they did inside and they did outside and the whole 9 yards. You follow? So this is something that is not uncommon. But we have been for the last 25 years, because I haven't been a member of a club, doing it directly.
Yes.
Okay?
You were either a member of Trade Source or BXI.
Neither. It's long before those.
Wow.
Yeah. I think BXI came along about the time that when I was enfolded, or I left, or whatever. Who knows?
Sold to another one. They're all buying each other up, man. It's crazy. It's like barter monopoly time.
But I don't know how to repair my own car. Okay, I don't know which end of the screwdriver you're supposed to use, etc. You go down the list of those things. My dad started me off on that kind of practice. He and my brother out there with their heads under the hood of the car, and he told me to go read a damn book.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to have all of you. That's what I said earlier. I can't survive without. So
Well, that's the whole point. We can't survive without each other.
Yeah. I either pay cash for the service I need, or it doesn't get done until I can trade with somebody.
Richard, you've been so quiet all night. You haven't.
Oh, there was a question.
Oh, there was a question? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were
I don't
being
know,
all
it's
crazy.
kind of more of a comment. I feel like the whole incentive behind asking other people to join is like just for that. Like if I want to refer someone to join, it's like because I want to barter with them in the future, or I want them to be able to like build their whatever they're building. Like I don't want money for that.
Yeah.
So like I don't even care. Like I don't want a referral like monetary thing or barter thing. It's like my incentive to do that is a selfish thing because I want to barter with them in the future. I want to just grow and expand our community, and if it's going to be a small community, like why are we going to have the incentive to like have people to join because we can get money for that?
Because people want incentive. It's as simple as that.
That is your incentive. If you want someone to join.
That is a different way of thinking than the rest of the world.
I know what it is. It's called instant gratification. Instant gratification they want. They leave that on top of it.
Oh, wait, those two are. Oh, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
There are people though that you may not think of unless there's some sort of incentive.
Yeah, you'll go through your list a lot more diligently, won't you?
Yeah.
Well, we have to think if the incentive outweighs because you talked about Square Cash earlier.
Oh, right.
Everyone I know, I have it on my phone, and my wife uses it through my phone sometimes. But everyone I know was like, hey, get Square Cash so I can get $5. Get Square Cash.
I know, right? So I can give you $5.
Yeah,
right.
it brought in a lot of people to Square Cash. A huge number of people, I'm sure, went there just because of that $5 incentive.
Good point.
And then, but we gotta. I don't know if that's gonna like do some sort of inflation in the group or something. But and if you want to keep it under 250, if you got a lot of young college or school people that are in there, if they're going to be trying to each refer 20 or 30 people,
right, and they're all in school,
then we're going to go way over.
Well, let me just tell you, with our automated system, it's set up so Andrew can say that referral bonus doesn't come till the person they referred does their first sale.
Well, I think that's absolutely critical.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we're doing to automate it, that we're building into it. So we thought of all of that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been in the industry a long time.
We know scum when we see it. So, when we've seen it, so we think ahead.
We've overrun our time, right?
Yeah.
I think we
exactly.
didn't come in
I
with
think
shields.
tolerance level, we're all done. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. This is great, and thank you everyone for dealing with my questions.
And if anybody has any technical questions about the website or anything, please talk to me. I guess outside we'll get kicked out of here.
I'll just clean up, and then you guys can, you're
Okay.
welcome.
Well, we're done. I mean, I'm done. I worked outside for 2 days. Stayed home. I'm ready to go home.
During Wednesday,
Thank you.
that is going to be something like a meeting of the minds where we think about how to market the
Yeah.
to get some people, the right people coming in. It's not because we can use dentists where I know once I went to the dentist and they wanted some landscape work or some more dentistry work.
Right.
It was for me, so I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out there, like you get a haircut.
Oh, I know.
I think there's a
That's what I want to do. Like I said, I started like a core group of people, and there's even room for people to actually get involved in the business. The thing is, too, like, I have so many things I want to offer. That's really why we started this up. Is a community service program. So we can easily, like, let me do that for you. It's not gonna kill me. And if it does kill me, at least I got something I can give a massage for it. Or I can go, I got something that's not gonna, that's gonna get me back up. Recharge my reserves. But if it goes well, and all these people that start out just as a general population kind of person, and they decide, wow, this is going great, I'm going to do a business, you might start a whole